Hello everybody, Philly Kuts with another boxing review. Sorry I still don't have my computer. I got it fixed, then it broke again, and I ordered a new computer. So I'm still waiting for that, so we got to deal with it. But anyway, tonight there was a good fight on Showtime, Showbox. You had the battle for Brooklyn, and you had Zab Judah against Paulie the Magic Man Malingnaggi. You had Paulie coming into this fight 32-5 with 7 KOs. We all know that Paulie has been criticized for his power. He just doesn't have it. He's been called pillow hands, pillow gloves, whatever you want to call it. And Zab Judah coming into this fight at 42-8 with 29 KOs. It was really kind of a tale of two fights. I would say in the first 5 rounds, it was Zab Judah's fight. He actually, the first round I gave to Malingnaggi. I thought he was more aggressive. He was coming at Judah more. But rounds 2 through 5, or actually only rounds 2 through 4, I gave to Zab Judah. Especially in the second round, where Zab Judah actually knocked down Malingnaggi with a nice left. Malingnaggi protested the knockdown. He said that he got tripped. His glove touched the canvas, which makes it a knockdown, but I thought it was a legitimate knockdown. That was my impression of it. I thought that he hit Malingnaggi pretty flush with the left on the top region of his head, and Malingnaggi went down. I mean, briefly. It was kind of like a knockdown like this, and his glove hit the canvas. And then after that, in between rounds 2 and 3, you could see that Malingnaggi had a pretty bad cut over his left eye. It was pretty bad. It was bleeding. He also got cut under his eye on his cheek. And there was blood streaming down actually in the start of the 4th, I think, if I remember correctly. I'm looking at my notes here. But Malingnaggi really came back after the 4th round. And I don't know what happened to Zab Judah, but Zab Judah essentially went into hibernation from rounds 5 all the way to 12. He just did nothing. He looked old. He looked tired. He just didn't look like he was in it to win it, as you could say. He just went into complete hibernation. It got to the point where his corner was just getting ridiculously angry with him and were yelling at him and berating him pretty much for the rest of the fight. You know, what are you doing? What are you doing, Judah? You got to punch. You got to throw your jab, which is what I didn't understand because Paulie's cut after that 3rd round, well, actually the 2nd round, was pretty bad. I was worried that Malingnaggi was going to lose the fight, maybe possibly because of the cut. That's how bad it was. But Judah never started to jab. He never jabbed at that cut. He just laid dormant and he laid in hibernation. It was almost like, you know, in rounds like 5, 6, and 7, it was as if Judah was kind of waiting for something to open up. Like, I felt like maybe he was just waiting for like a big punch, for a big opening, like he was really studying Malingnaggi. But as the fight wore on, he really, I don't even know if he was doing that. He was just kind of laying dormant. And I got to give big credit to Paulie, because Paulie became the more active fighter, especially with his left jab. He kept hitting Judah, keeping Judah at bay. And there's really not much else to say other than Paulie looked fresher. He was crisper. I thought he had better ring generalmanship, and ultimately it led to Paulie winning a unanimous decision. Judges scored the fight. Let's see. 116-111, and then the other 2 judges had it 117-110. I probably would have had it around 118-110, somewhere around there. I just thought that Zab Judah just did not look good. I didn't catch the post-fight interviews to see if Zab Judah announced his retirement. That's how bad it looked. That's how bad it really looked for Zab Judah. Like, he just did not want to be there. There was some action in the third round as well where there was a headbutt. Malingnaggi accidentally headbutted Judah. And I think it got him like really above the left eye pretty bad. Judah was pretty stung up by that. The ref had to give Judah about 20, 30 seconds to recover from that. But, yeah, it just was not a good night for Zab Judah. I really did not know what happened to him. But, you know, that's how a lot of Zab Judah's fights have gone. You know, he's pretty powerful in the first, 5, 6 rounds, and then he just kind of doesn't have it afterwards. With the exception of his last fight against Danny Garcia, where he actually did pour it on in the last 3 or 4 rounds in that fight. Malingnaggi handled the Brooklyn crowd well at one point in the match. About round 10, there was some pretty bad booing. I'm looking at my notes here, and the booing got so bad because of the inactivity of Zab Judah that Malingnaggi started to do kind of like a Hulk Hogan, I hear you. Didn't faze Malingnaggi because Malingnaggi was the one that was really bringing the fight to Judah. So I feel kind of speechless, and I feel kind of bad for Zab Judah. I was really expecting more out of him. Paulie will go on to fight another day and hopefully get bigger fights. So I think possibly sky's the limit for Malingnaggi. Who knows? Could a Mayweather fight me in the future for him? I mean, he would never, unfortunately, win that fight. But Zab, what were you doing, man? Because Malingnaggi just doesn't have the power. I don't know why you laid dormant for all those rounds, from rounds 5 through 12. He actually finally started to show some aggressiveness and vigor in the last, 10 seconds of round 12. He, had this, angry, hulkish outburst, but it just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough, and Paulie Malingnaggi had complete control of this fight from rounds 5 through 12, and he was deserving of the victory, and I think the judges got it right. All right, so that's Philly Kuts with a quick boxing review. Hopefully by the next fight, I will have the next fight I review. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do yet. I'll have my computer set up, and we'll be back to running normal. All right, guys. Peace. Shut off.